Hey guys, welcome to episode 8 of the How to Code a Spigot plugin series. If you made it this far, congrats. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. And in this episode, it's going to be a little more challenging than the past ones. It is going to be longer, like the last one, I guess. It's going to be going over a spinning GUI, a GUI that changes as it goes on. Like you see create GUIs that spin, that's what it'll be over. So it's going to be like a gambling one. When I hold diamonds and I type in /gamble, to gamble off my diamonds. You see it took 3 away, and it's going to spin through this GUI and all these different items, and I won course dirt. Once it's over, you'll see I got the course dirt. You can go again. If I type in /gamble and I'm not holding 3 diamonds, you'll get this message. You need 3 diamonds to gamble. So when I hold the diamonds, I'll gamble again. And it's all custom. We can change the items in these order. Oh, I got 8 nether stars. And you see I got the 8 nether stars. So, without further ado, let's go right into it. Go into your Package Explorer, go to New, Java Project, and we're going to name this Gamble. Make sure you're running Java 1.8. Go ahead and press Next. I know you can't see it, but go press Next. Go to Libraries, tab, and click on the Add External Jars, and make sure you're adding in your Spigot to download. I'm going to be using Spigot 1.15.1. It will work if you're using 1.17, 1.8. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and add in the Spigot jar, press finish, and open up that folder. In this RC, right click, go to new, package, type in your name, the name of the project, which is Gamble. If you have a website, you can use the name of the website, the name of the project. Inside that package, right click, and we're going to create our first main class. Like we always been doing this entire series, we're typing extends Java plugin, import that, and then we'll do the famous things of the on enable, on disable, and so on. I'm just going to automatically import that because I'm lazy. And we can get right into the real coding of it. And the first thing we want to do is create that gambling command. So inside the on command, type in if the label dot equals ignore case gamble. First thing we want to do is check if the sender is a player, and if they're not a player, we would just want to kick them out. The console cannot gamble. I am sorry, console, you cannot gamble. And we can say no gambling for the console, sad face. Return true. And instance of, and go ahead and import player. So if the sender is not a player, go ahead and kick them out. Once we know the sender is a player, we can create the first player. The player equals sender. All right. Now that we have the player, let's go ahead and create that fee. This is the diamond fee. You can make it whatever you want. I made mine 3 diamonds. So to do this, we're going to say item stack, and I'm going to say the name of it is fee. I'm going to set equal to a new item stack, and the material I'm going to use is diamonds. Go ahead and import item stack. And then I'm going to set the fee dot set amount to 3. So it's cost them 3 diamonds to gamble. Next, I want to see if the player has the fee, if they have the ticket to gamble. So to do this, I'm going to say if player dot get inventory dot get item. I'm going to use the get item in main hand. Now, if you're coding in 1.8, it's the get item in hand, because in 1.9, that is when they introduced the main hand and offhand. Please take note, when you're coding a plugin and you're dealing with hand movements, it's important you make sure that you're checking which hand it's in. Make sure it's in the item in main hand for this plugin. I want to do dot is similar to the fee. So is similar, Rover maybe says something about it. Nope. Okay, is similar is similar to dot equals. It's just checking if it's similar to the fee. So if I'm holding 64 diamonds, the fee is similar to my 64 diamonds. So I am holding the fee. All right. Now while I'm inside, I can do player dot get inventory dot remove item stack remove. Oh, sorry, wrong remove. Dot remove item. I'm going to remove this fee from them. Once we remove the fee, we can go ahead and spin that GUI. Spin the wheel. One thing we can do, say if they don't have the fee, after we spin the GUI, we can say return true. If they don't have the fee, we can go ahead and just say player.send message. Chat color dark red. You need 3 diamonds to gamble. And I imported the wrong chat color, so let me fix that real quick. It's the bucket.chat color. All right. So if they have the fee, go ahead and spin that GUI. If they don't, guys send that message. We say return true. All right. Now spinning the GUI. To do this, it's pretty complex. It's we're going to deal with 2 different runnables, 2 different bucket runnables. But the first thing we should do is go to the top of the on enable. We need to create a few things here. We need to create a list. This would be a list of inventories. And this is for the listener. Array list. And we're creating this because last video we only had 1 inventory and each player opened up that 1 inventory and they changed their team. This will be a little differently because every single player is going to open up a different inventory. They're going to open up their own gambling inventory because we don't want some other player to take, I guess, another inventory. So we're going to put every single inventory that a player creates inside this list. Next, we want to create the contents of the inventory. So this is going to be public. We'll do static item stack. This will be an array item stacks, and this will be called contents. And then finally, I'll explain this later, private int item index set to 0. All right. Once you have those 3 created, let's go ahead and create the actual spinning method. The spinning of the GUI. And like I said, it's going to be a little complicated, but let's get right into it. Public void spin. And I'm going to pass in a player for this. And we'll make it a final player. The first thing we want to do is create the inventory. Inventory inv equals bucket dot create inventory. Just like the last episode, we're going to set the owner to null. I'm going to set the size to 27, which is a 2-line GUI to have 2 slots of 9, of 2 rows of 9. And then I'm going to set the name of the GUI to chatcolor.gold plus chatcolor.bold. Good luck. All right. Now that inventory is created, we can go ahead and we'll do imvs.add inventory. So what this does here is our invs. I know we have imvs and inv. Inv is just a single inventory. Inv is our list of inventories up here. So we're going to add this inventory we just created to the invs so our listener that we create soon will work. And then we actually need to do something right here. I'm going to say shuffle inv. And you can see this little red underline because we didn't create a shuffle yet. So let's do that. And inside the shuffle, all it's going to do, we need to pass an inventory. All it's going to do is shuffle the starting content. So all the contents that we put in the inventory I'll run the server real quick and show you. So when I do gamble, if you see real quick, it started at a different value. So it's going to start at a different item each time. So if we do gamble, it's going to start a different item, and it's going to go randomly, so we don't get the same item every single time. All right, let's go ahead and show you how to do it. So inside this method, the shuffle method, the first thing we want to do is actually see if the contents includes any items. So to do this, I'm going to say contents equals null. And what this says right here is saying if there is nothing in the contents, so if there's nothing in this item stack array, we want to add the items into the item stack array. And to do this, I'm going to create a new item stack array. We'll call it items. So new item stack, and we're just going to put 10 items in this. You can feel free to add as many items as you want. I'm just going to do 10. I'm going to say items of 0 equals a new item stack. And the material, I'll put dirt, coarse dirt, and then the amount will be the after, so a comma. I didn't show you guys this last time, but when you're creating an item, you can actually set the amount of blocks that are in this item by doing comma and then a number. So this would be 32 coarse dirt, and that's going to be at 0, the array of 0. Next, we'll do the first slot, and we could say new item stack material dot and we'll say diamond. And we'll do 3, so they get what they gambled back. I'm gonna copy this, so I don't have to type it every single time. And we're going to do this 10 different times. All right, 2. We can make it, I don't know, an iron ingot. And we say 64 of those. 3. Oh. This part right here, you kind of just customize how you want it. I mean, I'm just coding this for fun, not really a server. So, I mean, if you're all coding this for a server, you should probably make it like follow the economy. So, like 3 diamonds is probably not that much in your server. So, try to maybe make the cost another star. Speaking of another star, I'm gonna make 8 nether stars. Bee spawn egg, sure, why not? All right. Quartz block 64. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 4 more to do. And you see, I went up to 9 because our size here is 10. And the array starts at 0. So this is 10 items right here. But we go up to 9 because we started 0. And then we'll throw another diamond. Why not? We'll throw in 2 more diamonds because I'm lazy. And we'll say material dot wood. Acai wood. I mean, oh God. And then 12. And then we'll put another diamond in there. Why not? And then we'll say something cool. I don't know. Ender. I don't know. And barrier block. I don't know. Something that we can't really get. 1 barrier block. And finally, we can do contents equals items. All right. Now that we have all the items inside the content, so if this is null, go ahead and add the items in there. But after we have the items in there, go ahead and shuffle the starting index. So to do this, we'd say int starting index. We're set it equal to a thread local random dot current dot next int, and then inside here we'll say contents dot length. So what that does is, as like I said, it randomizes the starting index, the starting value. So we don't always start at coarse dirt. Sometimes we can start at diamond. Sometimes we can start at barrier block. It doesn't matter. It just randomizes it a little bit. And then finally, we want to add those items to the inventory. And to do this, it's going to be a few for loops. It's going to be, let's scroll down a little bit. It's going to be for int index equals 0. Go through the index until it's less than, no, as long as it's less than the starting index. And then we do index plus plus. Then we're going to need another for loop. Int item stacks equals 9. And I'll explain this in a second. Item stacks is less than 18. Item stacks plus plus. Then I'm going to say inv.set item to item stacks. And then the next one is contents. Item stacks plus item index. And then index, and then we do add that, and then we do that modded with the contents dot length. And then after this for loop, item index plus plus. All right. Sorry, that's a bit confusing. Basically, this is right here. It's just to go through every single item in the index. So it's going to go through all the items here. And now this right here is just a position. We're just placing this inside the inventory. And we're placing it from the slot 9 to slot 18. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I said this is 2, this is 3. So this would be a 3 row inventory. So we're placing from 9 to 18 because we want it in the middle inventory. We want this right here. When we do /gamble, we want this row in the middle. So this is from slot 9 to slot 18. It's in the middle. All right. And then next, so in here, we can kind of customize it, make it look a little nicer. So this is just a little customization. Customize. And we can just say real quick, item stack. Item equals new. Item stack material hopper. This is just to make it look a little nicer. Item meta equals item dot get item meta dot set display name. And I'm just gonna do that little line thing. I'm gonna say item dot set item meta to meta im dot set item to slot 4. And what I'm doing right there is I'm just creating this hopper right here. Just creating that hopper, putting it right in the middle so we know what we're winning. All right, shuffle is done. Now we can get into the actual spinning of the GUI. This right here, I'm not spinning anything. I'm just changing the starting index, and then I'm setting, this right here is just all constant. So we're just putting all the blocks from row 9 to row 18. From slot 9 to slot 18. Now I can actually spin the GUI, and that is going to be right down here. So we're going to first open the GUI, player.open inventory inv. Next, we want to create a random. So random r equal new random. And then we're going to need some seconds, so how long this GUI runs for. And the GUI, I'm going to do run from 7 seconds, maximum of, we'll say 12 seconds, minus 7 times r dot next double. Okay, so what this does here is, so I'm going to have it run from between 7 seconds to the maximum of 12 seconds. So let's get a random double in between 7 and 12. And that's how long it's going to run for. That's how long the gamble is going to go for. So it's a bit random each time. And then of course, the bigger you make the max and min, I think my example is from 8 to 11, so it's not that big. The bigger you make the max and min, the more random ability, the more random it's going to get. And then finally, we can go into the actual runnable. So new bucket runnable, 2 ends. Runnable. This is going to get a bit complicated. We're going to have 2 runnables here. So the first runnable, to complete it, I'm going to go ahead and click right down here and do .run task timer this 0 1. Yep. Go ahead and import bucket runnable. So what bucket runnable does, it's going to run through this task timer, and this is just referring to the main class. And we're going to run it instantly. So we're going to run it right now. So right when they open inventory, right when they see this, it's going to run. It's going to run every tick. 1 is the tick. So we're going to need a few things in here. We're going to need a delay. So double delay equals 0. Int ticks equals 0. And a boolean that we're going to call done equals false. We're going to go first through the first runnable, and that is public void run. So inside of runnable, this is not going to be run every single time. This is going to be run once. The thing that has to be ran multiple times in a runnable is this run. So we can actually put a method inside of a method. So this is our method. We're putting a method inside of our method, and this will be the run. So this is going to go non-stop until we tell it to stop. And what we're going to do in here is say if it's done, we want to return. So if done is true, so what I'm saying here is done. If done equals true, we want to stop the runnable. So if done is true, return. Of course, we set to false because it's not done yet. Next, we can say ticks plus plus. So each time it runs through, we want to add 1 tick to it. And then we're going to do the delay. The delay is going to be plus or equals 1 divided by 20 times the seconds. I'll explain that in a second. Next, we're going to do if the ticks is greater than delay times 10. Go ahead and do this. So this is where the main code is going to be. If you go ahead and just do the math right real quick on a calculator, you'll see that like the delays that keep going up and up and up and up and up until it reaches a certain value, and that's when we're actually going to do stuff. So we're going to set the ticks back to 0 here. And we'll say 4. And this is where we're actually going to be switching the item. So if the ticks is greater than delay is pretty low. When 1 divided by 20 times, let's say 7, is a pretty small number. So the ticks are keep increasing, and the delay is going to keep increasing. So finally, once the delay is bigger than the ticks, we're going to stop. Or actually, the delays, we reach the delay. And so right now, the delay is lower than ticks. So we're going to change. We're going to shuffle that item. And this right here is where we shuffle the actual item in the inventory. So int item stacks equals 9. Item stacks less than 18. Item stacks plus plus. We're going to say inv.set item to item stacks. We'll say contents contents, and we'll say inside here the same thing we did up here. We actually just can copy it. Easier. Just copy that. Awesome. And then after that 4, down here we can say item index plus plus. So it's just going to move on to the next item. And just like we did up here in the shuffling the starting position, we're just going to shuffle each item throughout that starting position, throughout the 9 through 17 slot. And we're going to keep changing the item. Next, we're going to say if the delay is greater than or equal to 0.5, now we can stop. Now we can actually end the gambling. And we'll say done equals true. Set the true, and then we're going to do one more runnable, bucket runnable. And that runnable, it's going to be a different kind of runnable. It's going to be .run task later. And type in, hold on, sorry. All right, so to be a different kind of runnable, and to be a run task later instead of run task timer. So you're gonna run this task after the fact. So after we pick the winning number, and you're gonna send the instance of our main class, and our main class is to be main.getPlugin.main class. And then we're gonna do this in 50 ticks from then. And each tick so a second in Minecraft is 20 ticks. So this would be 2 seconds around there. And now we want to do bucket void run item stack. So inside this run, we're basically just getting our winning block. Our runnable has ended, and we just want to get the winning block. That's why we're doing run task later. We want to get the winning block. So item stack item is going to equal our inventory dot get item. I want to do 13 in here because 13 is the middle slot in the second row of the GUI. Next, I'm going to do player dot get inventory dot add item. If you've been watching along with the past episodes, it's best to check if the player's inventory is full, and if it is, it'll drop the item on the ground. I'm just going to do it like this because we're running up on 27 minutes now. I want to move along a little bit. So player dot update inventory, and then player dot close inventory. Next, we can do cancel, and we're gonna do one more cancel right after this. And you are done. We are completely finished with this runnable. I know it's kind of a lot. I mean, spinning GUI is pretty difficult, and this is all you need to do. After this, we are completely finished with this plugin. We can go ahead and run it. So first thing we need to do is add in the Plugin Dot Yml. Click on the src, right click, go to new file, type in Plugin Dot Yml, all lowercase. Type in main me.codedred gamble.main. The name is going to be gamble. The version is going to be 0.0.1. The author is going to be yourself. And then the API version, we're putting an API version in this one as well, and the API version is going to be 1.13. The commands is going to be gamble. And I explained this last episode and the episode before that. We're using API version 1.13 because nothing much changed in 1.14 or 1.15 unless you're using different enchants. It's best just to use 1.13. All right, once you have that in, we can go ahead, right click on this, export, and then make this gamble. And I'm exporting it right into my server. Now I can reload my server and let's test out the code and make sure we did everything right. So when I type in /gamble, Nothing worked because we did not open that inventory. I always forget to do this. Player dot. Oh, no, we do spin player. Okay. We have to call this spin method down here. Now we can export the plugin. Reload it. /gamble. And boom, there we go. You see, you got new items in here with that B. Oh, got the berry block. And should end, and I get the berry block. You're going to notice if I hold 3 diamonds and I do this, I can actually grab things out of here. And that is not good. We should not be able to grab things out of there. And to fix this, you are need a listener. If the videos run from 30 minutes, y'all can stop watching now. This is pretty much it for the whole spinning thing. If you want to watch to the end just to see the listener, be my guest. And we're going to do it real quick. At event handler, public void, zoom in, public void on click. The event is going to be inventory click event. Go ahead and import all that. Oh, inventory click event, import that. We're going to say if the event, no, if invs.contains event.getInventory, type in return because we want to say if the does not contain. So if the inventories, if our invs up here that we created this list, so if our list does not contain our inventory that we're in, go ahead and remove them out because we don't want to care. We don't care about any other inventory but ours. Next, you want to check the event get current item that equals null. Go ahead and say return. 2 more checks. Event get current item get item meta equals null. Return. If event get current item get display name. Actually, we don't even need to do any of this. We kind of just say event.set canceled to true. Return. All right, try it out. Oh, first thing first, go to the top. You do implement listener. When you add our listener in here, and Control Shift. Let me spell this wrong. Listener, and that's going to be the bucket.event.listener import. And then our on enable, we need to listen for this event, and that is this .get server .get plugin manager .register events, not event, events. And type in this. We're typing this because we are registering the events only on this class. And now we can go ahead, right click, export. Reload the server and let's test it out. Gamble. You see I can't remove anything. Can't even remove anything from my inventory. Oh, got the idea. Alright. And that is it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys did enjoy. Go ahead and play around with this a bit. Y'all can. It's pretty fun to play around with. And change the seconds around, change the randomability around, add more items because this is really not going to be that random. I would say it's only 10 items. Add at least like 30. If you add like 30 items in, then it's going to be a pretty random odds when getting items. I'll see you guys for the next video. If you did please like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.